We're here, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle, Profe, QNS.
Coach Stefan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back from a tournament in Bradenton. And I figured we would jump on this call and have a conversation to help people understand like a lot of the dynamics about youth soccer, bro. So it's like, this is my thought, and then I'll let Stefan go on it. But we're coming back from this tournament, and like we were just sitting there watching games, like just watching. And I'm going, dude, we are so far off it. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Stefan, but we're walking by, and you hear parents on the other side, like the sideline, going ballistic. Boot it! Kick it! Send it! And it's like, dude, shoot! Like, you can't, like the kids can't even make their own decision. What did you see, Profe?
Yeah, it's the same idea because, my opinion, obviously the parents try to help us or the teams, but the problem not is with coaches, is with kids, because the kids don't understand if paying attention on parents or coach.
Yeah.
So this is a big problem, not only in USA, probably more here than my country in Ecuador. But I talk with Kyle every time about the parents. No?
So here's what I think he's trying to say if you didn't understand. So like you have, for example, we coach, right? So we're coaching on our sideline and we're speaking to the players like before the game. Hey, we're going to do, or I want you to do X, Y, and Z, right? So I'm going to say, little Johnny, you're going to do this. And Braden, I want you to do this. And Jackson, I want you to do this. And then you have parents on the other side saying, kick it, boot it, pass it, send it, shoot it. And a lot of times, in most cases, it's the opposite of what the coach is telling the kids. But what happens is, who do you think the kids are going to listen to? You or the coach? Well, they got to go in the car ride with you. So little Johnny is going to be in the car with you, and he's going to have to listen to you, yell at him, scream at him, whatever, because you're upset about the game. And trust me, I get it. We all want the kids to win. Who, like, coach, you want to win, don't you?
Obviously.
Of course you want to win. Of course I want to win. It's like, what are you supposed to do? But I'll give you a different example. Like, I told the kids yesterday, we had a game yesterday, I told the kids, hey, I'm okay if you guys lose. It's okay. What I'm not okay with is if you lose and you don't give effort. If you don't give the effort, you don't try your best, and then you lose, that's unacceptable. For me, it's unacceptable. But if you're giving 100% effort and you lose, like when you're talking about 9 and 10-year-old kids, what can you do? There's not much you can do about it. So it's just having them understand. And I think sometimes people think that I'm telling parents, like, you can't talk on the sideline. You can talk on the sideline, but do it in a way that's actually supportive of the kids. Be like, hey, good job. Keep it up. Keep working hard. Keep trying. Right? Those types of things. That's your guys' role. If you want to coach, go sign up and be a coach. Right, Profe?
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, it's like, okay, coach, go be a coach. But like, the other thing that I've noticed too is like a lot of parents think that like joysticking, and by joystick is like, you tell the kid, kick it, boot it, send it, shoot it, pass it, whatever word or verbiage you want to use, which is your thing. I don't recommend it. But if you want a joystick, just to clarify, that's not actually coaching. When you joystick, you're telling them what to do. But I think what people don't understand is like when you do that, think about the kids. When you go to a tournament or a game, and tournaments are usually worse in the sense of pressure, like the kids are going to have more pressure to perform because they know that in a tournament, if they don't perform, they lose, they go home. Well, imagine you're in the middle of a game as an 8-year-old kid or a 9-year-old kid, and you're playing, and you have all these people screaming at you. Like, I imagine I don't like it. If I have a huge deadline that I need to meet in like 1 hour, and then these people are freaking screaming, it's a problem, bro. Like, you can't, you just got to relax and let them do their thing, bro. Bro, anything you want to add?
Yeah, other point, in my opinion, in the football we can win, we can lose sometimes, it's okay, but every game the kids or the players need 100%. In USA is crazy because I'm from Ecuador. In Ecuador it's very different. The kids every time coming to practice, every time early on the game. In USA is opposite. The players not coming for practice. The players have excuse every time. So it's very hard for a coach. My opinion is very, very hard for a coach because, for example, I have 2 teams right now. The big team, U16, never all the players coming. So it's hard. We have a tournament, so probably 2 or 3 kids not training for 4 weeks and start on the game. It's impossible. We can win or we can lose, whatever. No, it's the point. The point is the coach needs every time the players, every time.
It's hard, yeah, if you don't have the players, and I think the challenge here is, or like the thing that we're trying to conversate with is like, okay, we're going to these events. It's great. It's good to see it. It's good opportunity for the kids to play. They get the experience. They get to deal with the pressure, but don't add more pressure to them. And it's like, the kids want to be kids. They want to score goals. They want to have fun. They want to win. And a lot of times what happens is, at least from what I'm seeing is, you know, and I'm watching games today and you see a bunch of kids, they make a mistake and they go like this and they're looking right at dad. They're looking right at mom because they know that they're going to get ripped by mom or dad when they get in the car because mom and dad are going to berate them for a mistake. And it's like, dude, the kid is 8 years old or the kid is 9 years old. And I'll give you this point too, which is kind of crazy. So I'm talking to the referee before the game. And when I'm talking to the ref, I'm like, hey, you know, did you pick your age group or did you get assigned? He's like, probably both. Like I asked for a certain thing and I get what sometimes you get what you request, you don't. Point is, I was like, hey, what do you think about the 77 age group? Because it was 77 we were watching. And he's like, well, it's easiest for me in terms of like effort. I don't have to give a lot of effort as a ref, but he's like, the parents are the worst. He's like, because they just, a lot of them are first-time parents. They don't have a lot of experience. They don't have a lot of knowledge, and they just want to see their kids win. I get it. You want to see the kid win, so let them go do it. But it's like, just let them go do it. It's their experience, not your experience. So, like, let the kids be kids. Let them go through it. And, like, whether you are or not, I'm not saying this is you or not, but, like, a lot of people are living through their kid. And, like, I had this conversation with my dad because I asked him, I said, I remember when I was a lot younger, like I was 9, 10, 11, my dad was a joystick parent. He didn't have the experience of life in terms of the game or whatnot. And then he told me, he's like, one day it clicked. He's like, I realized around when you were about 12, Kyle, I had to stop. Because I wanted it, not that he wanted it more, but like he was behaving in a way that was putting more pressure on me. And he was just going way over the top. Like way over the top. And kids need to have pressure. But you don't need to add pressure to them because when they go to these tournaments, they know that there's pressure. Every kid knows they're going to play 3 games. Right, Profe? You play 3 games. If you don't win the games, you go home. So we played the final game. The kids lost 2-0. They were all sad and everything. And it's like, they knew. And whether it's our parents or other parents, like a lot of parents will get in the car and they're going to be telling their kid that they should have done this. They should have done X. They should have done Y. They should have done Z. Well, I don't mean this disrespectfully in any way. I'm just highlighting. Most people have never played the game above high school. And like my reference is, unless you went to like a residency program, high school is not high level. And since it's not high level, like perfect example, my parents didn't even play sports in high school. So I came through a system without that expertise of people that have played at a higher level. So it just makes it a lot harder, man. So it's just like, what do you want to add, Profe?
Let me see. Okay, so the last thing, in my opinion, in USA is so for example, the kids coming for tournament. Obviously, we can win, and we can.
Just hit the thing. No, it's good. Just hit it.
Okay, for example, we coming today with Kyle to watch one game, the U9. So I listen the parents. Oh my God, it's same the Kyle. Please pass the ball right, left. Oh, it's impossible when we have a kid in Waterbury or whatever. The kid is very, very, I don't know in English,
confused.
Confused. Yeah, confused because the parent is left, the coach is right. So the problem is the kid, not the coach, because I don't understand the parents. Because my opinion, I talk with Kyle every time. I studied 3 years right now for a coach. You need, if you like it, soccer or whatever sport, you need to study. You need. If you play in professional, okay, probably you know the experience, but in the license or whatever course, you learning. So for parents, if you teach your son, please, not only you too, you need pay for course or listen the ex-professional players. This is my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard. So, and what's interesting is when you look at people that have, I call it heritage, right? So you have guys that have played at a higher level. So I give this example all the time. I had Roberto Carlos's nephew in my program for 3 years. So we took him when he was basically 8 years old. He just left this past year. And Roberto Carlos himself, he came to a tournament 1 year ago. Came to a tournament. And at the tournament, it was a futsal tournament. I was like, okay, here's a guy that's won the Champions League. Actually, I don't think he won the Champions League. He's won the World Cup, though. And it's like, you have a guy that's won the World Cup, arguably the greatest left back of all time. I was like, let me see how he behaves. So he's sitting there watching, for example, his daughter play and his nephew. So his daughter was playing in the same tournament. And I'm like, let's see what he does. Bro, the guy's quiet the entire time. He's just smiling. He's waving to the people that are there to look at him, and then he's clapping. And I'm like, bro, if Roberto Carlos can do that, a guy that has won the World Cup, he's just there to watch his daughter play and his nephew play. So then his nephew's playing. He's on, like I said, he was on my team. Here's Roberto Carlos sitting at our bench, on the bench, next to me. I'm the coach of the team, and I'm like, is he going to say something? The dude doesn't say a word. He lets me, the coach, be the coach. And I'm like, bro, if there's anybody I would let speak, it'd be you. You can speak all day. It's Roberto Carlos. But he didn't say anything. Literally smiling, clapping, and waving to the people that were there to look at him, because obviously he's super famous. And it's like, why do we have people, well, it could be coaches too, by the way. There are coaches, profe, same thing. There are coaches that go crazy on the sideline, right? They're like, kick it, own it, send it, shoot it, whatever. And it's like, dude, just let the kids make their own decisions. Can we help motivate them? Yes, of course. You can say, hey, keep it up, good job. Like there was one point in the game, one of the kids got sad or whatever, he got subbed off. So I sat and I talked to him. I said, hey, bro, listen, it's okay. I'm like, it's okay. The game's maybe not going your way. That's part of life. And I asked him, I said, hey, who's your favorite soccer player? He's like, Diego Maradona. And I'm like, bro, you're 9 years old. Your favorite player is Diego Maradona. Okay, whatever. I was like, let's imagine that that Diego Maradona's at the game. Would he want to see you like this? Oh, sad and whatnot. He's like, no. And I'm like, okay, so Diego Maradona's here. You don't, the car did that, it's retarded. Don't be sad. I'm like, it's okay. It's like, Diego Maradona's watching you right now. How would you act or behave knowing that Diego Maradona is here watching your game? Oh no, I would be so happy. I'd be doing everything I can. I'd be trying so hard. And I'm like, okay, just do it. Whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter, because you can't control it. Like the other thing that you'll see too a lot is a lot of teams, like we were watching these games and the ball was in the air the entire time. It's kick it, boot it, send it. And that's because, my opinion, two reasons. The kids don't have the level to pass it yet and have good decision making. And then two, everybody's screaming at them to kick it, boot it, send it. So when they're going to kick it, boot it, send it, they're not passing. They're kick it, booting, and sending. So it's just like you just got to deal with it, man. But I hope that makes sense when it comes to perspective of behavior. So like I'll ask that question for anybody that's listening to this. If Roberto Carlos, a guy that's won the World Cup with Brazil in 2002 and many other things in his life, again, probably the greatest left back of all time, I'm sitting next to him, like literally 2 seats over. He's watching his nephew, and he's not saying a word to him, and I'm the coach of his nephew at the time. But we have parents on the other side of the field or court going ballistic that have never kicked the ball at even high school level. And I notice I said kick it. I didn't say pass it or play it. I said kick it. Why are you the one speaking? So like, wow. To give you reference, if Roberto Carlos started speaking, right? I'd be like, cool. Speak, bro, all day. You can speak all you need to do. No problem. It's Roberto Carlos. But he chose not to speak, and he's letting the thing happen on his own. I'm like, bro, okay, please. If he can do it, why can't we let everybody else do it? I don't know. Anything you want to add, Profe, with that? About the parents and...
No, the last is for the kids, need training.
To highlight his point about the number of hours per day, you can train for an hour and a half, but then you can go watch professional games for an hour and a half. That's 3 hours worth of training, by the way. Because part of it is also watching football. You learn a lot by watching people in better positions than you, not just playing it. So like if you can watch Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Virgil van Dijk, pick Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, whoever you want to watch them. And look how much you can learn from them. Like one of my favorite videos of Ronaldo is when he's in the press conference and they put a Coca-Cola bottle in front of him.